Today's video is going to be a little different as we have a little co-host, or should I say star of the show. I'm out for a walk and I got a topic that I really want to share, but I got to keep moving or the CEO wakes up and then he gets angry and wakes up. So we're not going to do that. We had a team call today and I was talking a lot about this. This isn't anything new. This is, I think, central to our team, to our community, to our company, lead with this. If you want results in your life, sorry buddy, I'll keep moving. If you want results, if you want to build your portfolio, so many people want stuff. They want all this stuff. They want these results and they make it all about the how. Don't get me wrong, the how is important in some way, shape, or form. Like there's a sequence to things and figuring out the how becomes important. But before we even think about the how, it's the who. Who do we have to be? I know I've talked a lot about this, but to me, it's so fundamental, and I wish more people understood this or more people actually focus their time on this. That DeFi portfolio you want, that money you want, that house you want, that car you want, that business you want, that team you want, that result you want, that whatever it is you want, who do we have to be in order to get it? I love leadership because leadership, a lot of people mistake leadership and management. So it's like, oh, I just manage people. I'm a leader. You're not. Leadership is very, very different. Leadership is I think it's more of an art than a science. There's no like one trait of a leader other than the ability to, in my mind, oftentimes see what others can't see, communicate that, and bring people together to march towards that thing. Now doesn't have to be a group either. That could be leadership towards others, a single person. Maybe you see something in them and for them that they can't even see themselves. You believe in them when they don't believe in themselves. That's leadership. But we can't do that if we don't have self-leadership first. If we are a mess, our world will be a mess. We can want all these things, but if we're not the person who can get those things, we're not going to get them. And I know I've repeated this so many freaking times, but to me, when I really started living it, and I'm not perfect, by the way, I have a lot of flaws and I'm always working on things, but when I started doing my best to live that on a daily basis, Lucas, who do you have to be? Who do you have to be to lead this? Who do you have to be to build this? Who do you have to be to do this? And I made that the focus. And then I did my best. I'm human, but I did my best to live in alignment with that person I'd have to be in order to have the thing I want. Miracles, literal miracles. Like the definition of a miracle, like this could have never happened, yet here it is. Series of events that no matter how hard you tried, you could never create for yourself. Circumstances, coincidences, lucky breaks. Things will start unfolding for you when you are the person. I heard this a while ago, but it's like everyone wants a platform, right? Big social media following or a YouTube, or everyone's striving for attention. But they're not the people who could have the platform yet. So no matter what tactics you try, what things you do, how many times you post, what you try, if you're not yet that person, if you haven't mastered self-leadership and an ability to inspire yourself and move yourself to something that may not be, you cannot see physically yet, but you can see spiritually or emotionally or in the imagination, in the ether. And if you can't master that and live in alignment with that for a period of time in this, you're not going to be able to lead others. And I'll add this little piece, and the CEO will too, is that everything you want, somebody else has. It's not going to be done solo. And so, I tried the lone wolf thing. Oh, I'll do everything myself. I don't need anyone. And I did not get results in my life. It wasn't until I started coming into community or into relationships with others that I started creating, manifesting, building, whatever you want to call it, tangible, material, actual, physical results in my life. You can't do it alone, which means you're gonna have to be in relationship with other people in some way, shape, or form, which means the ability to lead and to become becomes extremely important. And so to me, it always comes down to the who am I? Where in my life can I level up? to become the person I need to be to have the thing I say I want. And if I make that the actual, leading indicator, the thing that I focus on the most, the lagging, the everything else on the tail end of that, it sorts itself out. To me, honestly, yes, have goals, have all these things, but it's so much less about the goals and like the little checklist that we, all these little things we want and these goals we have. It's like, if I could just be the person who would have that in my life, if I could just become that person and act in alignment with that person, I hope this is making sense. Please let me know in the comments if this does. I think I'm getting too passionate for this guy. He's gonna wake up any second. He has to hear his dad talk about this stuff all day long. Coaching, everything. Everything I do is fundamentally, we can distill it back to this. Honestly, UIG, Accelerator, Fast Track, our content, our Instagram, I don't care what it is. I could pretty much distill it down into this is what we actually do. Everything else is secondary. How can we help people, whether that's team, whether that's me, whether that's our community, clients, members, doesn't matter, take small steps every day, every week into becoming the best version of themselves while having clarity on what it is they want so they can move towards that direction by becoming, not by doing. The doing is a byproduct. Please let me know if this makes sense. I create a lot of these videos around this concept, and I try to word it differently every time because people will catch it differently. But if we can make that the daily focus, I promise you, if you wake up tomorrow and you focus on becoming and you just become a little bit better that day, just a little bit better, you won the day, regardless of the external results, because I promise you there's a compounding effect to that. And one day you will wake up with the things you wanted, and you find, I'm speaking from experience, I find way less pleasure in the Lamborghini, in the millions, in the this and this that. We just bought a dream house and I bought it for this guy. We'll show you it someday. But I find much less pleasure in that than when I look in the mirror and I knew who I had to become to be that leader for the family, to be able to step into a financial awareness, or it's really a wealth consciousness, to be able to even be able to emotionally hold and steward and move those levels of finances or money, and have that level of responsibility and not let it break me. And we are just getting started. I promise you, if you focus on the becoming, on the who do you have to be, he's waking up. And you work towards that just a little bit every single day, even for 1 year. I'm telling you from experience that your entire reality, everything about your reality can be completely different. In fact, that can happen in an instant, because reality oftentimes is perceived by the lens and the glasses we set on. But apart from that, I know people want the actual physical results and the tangible. Like, yeah, I know that sounds great, Lucas, but I want to drive the damn thing. Awesome. Become the person that, if you were that person, it is inevitable for you to create that result. That's where we get out of that, and I don't agree with this, but that whole like discipline, and I just got to get up and crush it and grind it every day. Well, you do if you're not that person. But if you're naturally that person, it doesn't feel like a grind. I wake up at 4:30, 5 a.m. latest. I did 3:30 a.m. for a very long time, and it wasn't a grind for me. It wasn't difficult. I just became the person who found that enjoyable, that solitude in the morning, that connection I had with God or spirit or whatever you want to call it, that alone time, that think time. I was just the person. And waking up at 3:30, 4 a.m. is effortless then. But if I'm not that person, then it's a grind every day. And like, to me, you can grind and be successful, and like now you hate your life. And I'm like, what was the point of it in the first place? Why don't we just become? It becomes so much. It's still work, but it becomes effortless. I hope that makes sense. I hope some of us have experienced that in some area of our life. Whatever you have mastery in your life, whatever you're just really, really good at, and people are like, whoa, how do you do that? Chances are high that you're like, I don't know. Well, the reason is, well, you're unconsciously competent, but at the same time, you're just that person. It's so habitual, it's so easy to you, yet hard for others. Making money can be the same way. Seeing success in other areas of your life can feel the same way. It's like, yeah, it's work, but it's kind of easy. Like, it's effortless. I want that for you. I want that for every single freaking member and client and subscriber. And Hit me up if this is making sense. IG at Rubik's hit me up on Instagram. With that said, I'm gonna get out of here with the boss man and keep making progress just a little bit every single day. That's all I ask. If that resonates, like this video, subscribe, and with that said, we'll see you in the next.